Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you. It's Friday. I got the day off. I got some business I have to take care of. Um, so I just wanted to do a quick video before I go out and um, take care of my business. Um, I've been watching another sister on YouTube by the name of Faith Jones, and she has have some very. If you get a chance, go ahead and catch her videos. She's got some very interesting. She's talking about some very interesting things. Um, she's talking about this last video. She's talking about black men, um, black men, basically black men expecting um, competing against with black women for the same resources when they should be leading and heading the community. Basically, in a nutshell. And I looked at the video, loved the video. She has some very excellent points in the video. So I decided I'm going to do a follow up to that video, her video, if she don't mind. I'm going to do a follow up to her video. This topic that I'm going to talk about is on the heels of that video. You get a chance. Her name is Faith Jones. Check her out. But this video is on the heels of that one. I'm calling this Message to Black Men. Black women are not designed to lead. Let me repeat that. Attention, black men. Black women are not designed to lead. As I've said in some of my other videos, I always talk about the Bible, and I always talk about how Jehovah God created Adam first. He put Adam to sleep, took his rib, and then he created Eve. So even if you look at that of who was created first, man was created before woman. So he created man first because his intention of creating man first was for the man to be the head of the woman. That was why he created the man first. The man, somebody had to be first. So the man is the head of the woman. The Bible says women are in subjection to men. We are in subjection to men. A lot of women don't want to hear that, liberationists or whatever. They don't really necessarily want to hear that. But it is what it is. The facts speak for themselves. We are, in fact, in subjection to men. Whether we want to realize that or not, it is what it is. I mean, take it up with God. I didn't write the Bible. But it is what it is. So with that being said, and the Bible also says that the woman is the weaker vessel. The woman is the weaker vessel. In other words, we're weaker than men. We're not as strong as men. Physically not as strong as men. We're mentally strong, but the Bible says that we are the weaker vessel. And it is the man's role to protect the women. That is primarily a man's role, is to provide and protect. It's scriptural. It's scriptural. I'm not this is not coming out of my mouth. This is not my ideas. It's scriptural. It's in the Bible. The man is supposed to provide and protect. This is the order it goes in. God first, man, woman, and child. That's the order that it goes in. It doesn't go woman, man. It doesn't go God, women, men, and children. It don't go in that order. It goes God first, men second, women third, and then the children. So God, we are in subjection. We are all in subjection to God first. We are in subjection to Him first. We answer to Him first and foremost because He's our creator. Then the women are in subjection to the men. So we are in subjection to the man. And then the children are in subjection to, the children are in subjection to the women and the men. That but the children are in subjection to the women, because we are the leader, we are the head of the children. Women are the head of the children. So that's why the Bible says the women are the teachers of the children, because children are in subjection to the women and the men too, but the women is the women are the head of the children. That's who the women are the head of. But the man is the head of the women and the children. Okay, the only person that's the head of the man is God. So that is the order that it goes in. So when I hear, look at the various different YouTube videos and everything, and read the various blogs, and all I hear is black men blaming black women for everything that's going wrong in the black community. Everything that's going wrong in the black community. Black men, not all, I'm not saying all black men, but I noticed that a common theme is that a lot of black men are blaming the women. A lot of black men are blaming the women for all the ills and everything that's going wrong in the black community, as if to suggest that we are supposed to be leading the black community, that we are supposed to be the one providing and protecting for everyone in the black community. That's what it's like, that they're making that suggestion, that it's the black woman's role to provide and protect the black community. That don't even sound right. It is not the black women's role. When you read the Bible and you read the order that it's supposed to go in, it's not contrary to what Jehovah God says, the order that it's supposed to go in. But I noticed that a common theme, that black men are always blaming black women for everything that's wrong in the community. If there's gang violence, the economic structure of the black community, everything that's going on in the black community, the community itself breaking down, the women get blamed for it. But where's the black man's responsibility? That's what our question is as black women. Where's the black men's responsibility? They're supposed to be the head. I've drove this point home in various other videos. Black men are supposed to be the head. So how it's all the black women's fault that everything is falling apart in the black community? If we're having children, who's helping us produce these children? There's no sperm banks in the black community. We have to have a man to fertilize our egg. A little anatomy lesson there. We have to have a man. There's a woman's egg. The egg is no good unless it's fertilized by a sperm. The sperm has to fertilize the egg to grow into a fetus. So we can't make children by ourselves. Like, some insects or they say some insects reproduce themselves. They don't need someone to give them the sperm. They kind of reproduce themselves. Well, I'm sorry, but we're not an insect, and we don't have the power to reproduce ourselves. Okay, so we can't make a baby. That black men blame black women for out of wedlock children in the black community, single parenthood, high rates of single parenthood, but you can't blame one without blaming the other. See, you can't blame the black woman without blaming the black men. It's a shared responsibility because it's a 50-50 thing. If we're getting pregnant and having children out of wedlock, then who's impregnating us? Who's impregnating us? We can't impregnate ourselves. And if we are getting impregnated, why are we single? Why aren't we married and have a head of our household helping us to provide and protect and take care of the children? Why? That's a big question. Why? Is one man getting multiple women pregnant and leaving? See, a lot of them deflect and they refuse to take responsibility. But you can't blame one without blaming the other. You can't just put all the blame on out of wedlock children on black women when the black men are getting the women pregnant. You can't leave all your reproductive decisions to a woman. You know, you have to, as a man, you have to take some responsibility. And the problem is a lot of black men are not taking responsibility. And they're putting it on the black women's shoulders. And our shoulders are wearing down. Our shoulders are wearing down of the weights of the black community on our shoulders. Because we were not designed to lead. We were not designed. Jehovah God did not make us. He did not create us to lead. The Bible says the woman is the weaker vessel. We are the weaker vessel. Women is in subjection to man. That's how it goes. If two people get married, who's the lead? Who's the head of the household? Is the woman the head of the household, or is the man the head of the household? The man is the head of the household. It is not the woman that's the head of the household. The man is the head of the household. The man is the head of the woman. That's why they say if a woman wants to get married, we have to be careful who we choose as our mate, because that man is going to in fact be our head. So we have to be particularly careful when we're choosing a mate, because whoever we choose as a mate, that man is going to be our head. And we have to be careful what type of man we get to be our head. It's a big, huge decision. It's the most important decision a woman will ever make in her life. Because whoever you get as a mate, that man's going to be your head. If that man is lazy and don't want to work, and you marry him, well, that's your head. That's your head. That's the head that you chose. If that man is an alcoholic, that's your head. He's your head. That's the head that you chose. If that man is a womanizer, well, that's your head. So you got to deal with whatever the consequences that come along with choosing the wrong head. If you choose a man that as your head that's not responsible, that doesn't like to take responsibility, that do not want to lead and do not want to be the head and do not want to provide and protect for the family, then you have to, as a woman, you have to deal with the consequences of choosing the wrong head, the wrong male head. Now, sometimes women, people change. Man can be one way when you marry him, and then on down the road, he changed and something else happens. Well, you didn't know that. He was one way when you married him, and sometimes that happens. But I'm talking about if before you marry him, you know certain things about this guy. If you know certain things about him, but you marry him anyway, then this is who you chose as your head. And so you have to deal with the consequences of, if he's a drug addict or alcoholic or whatever. Excuse me. If he doesn't want to work, this is the head that you chose. So you have to deal with the consequences that comes along with making the wrong choice as your male head. So they talk about this in the society. They at the hall. They talk about be careful. The mate. Us women, particularly, being careful of the mate that we choose, because whoever you choose, this is going to be your head. So you got to make sure that you choose somebody that's going to have your best interest at heart. That's going to love you enough to have your best interest at heart. And first of all, he got to love God. If he can love and be faithful to God, then 9 times out of 10, he can love and be faithful to you. But women are in subjection to men. It is not our role and responsibility to lead the black community. The black men are supposed to be building up the black community. The black men are supposed to be trying to protect the women and the children in the black community. And in most cases, they're not protecting. The women and the children have to be protected from them in most cases. But the women get blamed for it. It's because if the black community is breaking down, it's because the men are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And they're putting all that burden on the woman's shoulders. And we was not designed to lead. See, that's why things are falling apart. We was not designed to lead. We was not built to be the head. We're doing something that is not normal. We are doing something that is not natural. We were not designed to be the head, to be breadwinner, protector, provider, and all that. And, you know, we just wasn't designed for it. You know, and basically that's what Faith is talking about in her video. And then it's like, it does seem like black men are in a sense in competition with us, you know, and it doesn't make any sense. You cannot compete with your women. You are supposed to be the head of your women, not trying to compete with your women. And so when black women do go out and get college degrees and start businesses and do this and that and the other, black men get upset and they talk bad about us, and they talk about us even for going out and seeking an education. They badmouth us. You know, well, we're a lot of times we're placed in a position to where we have to do, we got to kind of, we're out fending for ourselves. We're placed in a position to where we got to do the best we can, because we can't count on our men to provide for us, to protect us, you know. So in attempts to try to do things on our own, a lot of times, you know, like I said, the black community breaks down because we were not designed to be the head. We were not designed to be the head. We were not designed to lead the black community. That is the black man's role. They can debate back and forth all they want. They can deflect and talk about our hair. They can deflect and talk about our weight. But what's that got to do with you being a man? What does that got to do with you being the head of the black community like you're supposed to be? Doing what God called you to be. The head. What does the hair, how a black woman wears her hair, or whether she wears a weave or not, what does that got to do with black men taking responsibility as a man? It has nothing to do with it. What does our weight have to do with it? You know? See, they deflect, but they stop. A lot of other races of men, I hate to say it, don't have respect for black men, because they see they're not stupid. They see what's going on in the black community. And 9 times out of 10, those men know what a man's role is. They know what a man's role is, and they know what a man's supposed to do. Now, I get it that black men are at a disadvantage. There is a lot of discrimination, institutionalized racism. And black men are working against a lot. So are black women. I get that. But there are black men that are. Reason why I know that it can be done is because I see there is a lot of black men out there that are leaders. They are leaders. They are being a man, and they are providing, and they are protecting for their families. There are black men that are doing it. The problem is that there are not enough black men that are doing it. See, we need black men as a collective, as a whole, to do that. That is the problem. So that let me know, when I see other black men doing it, that let me know that it can be done. You know, yes, there are obstacles. There's institutionalized racism and all that. Black men are working against a lot. Yes, there are obstacles. But God is more powerful than those obstacles. God has more power than the obstacles. You can overcome those obstacles with God's help. You got to lean on God. Those obstacles can be overcome. Other black men have done it. So that let me know right there that it can be done. So really, at the end of the day, there's no excuse. You know? Now, you know, I've done videos talking to the sisters about different things. You know, having children out of wedlock and all that. But I'm not letting the men off the hook. Not letting you men off the hook. Because I got some more interesting videos coming up addressing the men as well. Yeah, I talk about the women, the certain issues I talk about with women, but I'm not letting you men off the hook. Now, I don't want the women to think that I'm letting the men off the hook. I'm not letting the men off the hook. Because there's too many black men out here that like to play the blame game. Like to point fingers at black women. Don't want to, at the end of the day, they don't want to take no responsibility. That's not being a man. A real man takes responsibility. A real man provides and protects his family and the community. And as a whole, black men need to start doing that, or the black community is going to continue to be in shambles. Now, you can argue all you want. It just simply means that you're not man enough to own up to the responsibility. So it is what it is. Okay, I got some more interesting video topics coming up, so stay tuned. This is Sweet June.